Hi, I'm James Wilkinson and I've been a travel editor for over 20 years. On this show, we're going to take you to some of the world's most amazing destinations, from the big cities to the great regional areas. We're going to take you inside some of the best hotels, bars, restaurants and much more. Today, we're in Berlin and this is Wayfarer. Welcome to the Adina Apartment Hotel here in Hackeschimarkt. It's one of several properties the brand has in Berlin, and inside you'll find a great restaurant and bar, spacious apartments, swimming pools and much more. Come on, let's have a look inside. What I like about this hotel is the space that's in here. Usually when I'm in Berlin every year, it's for 4 or 5 days. Nice to have an apartment. You've got a really nice sized couch just here. There's a good little kitchenette, obviously TV, and then come with me, there's a really good sized bedroom. This is one of the 1-bedroom apartments. They've got some 2s here as well. Obviously a bit of an Aussie theme here given the Australian ownership of the hotel, but nice sized bedroom. A lot of light coming in from outside. Good sized bed, great pillows, and then through here we've obviously got a great sized bathroom. There's a bath and a shower and a laundry, a little washer and dryer, and every time I come and travel to Berlin, it's usually halfway through a big trip. I love getting here and getting back to business. Well, one of the great things to do in Berlin is to go for a walk around and take in some of the city's sights. Now, I want to find out a bit more about the history of a lot of these places, so we've enlisted the help of Penelope from Berlin Private Tours. And Penelope, where are we today?
So we're starting out the front of the Reichstag, which is the German parliament. This is where the German government sits. The building itself was built in 1894. That's already 23 years after Germany became a country. It played a huge role in both Hitler consolidating his power and also in terms of post-war in the Cold War era, when this was part of West Berlin.
It's one of those striking buildings I drive past, but I've never actually really stood out the front of it and taken in the beautiful architecture of this building.
It is absolutely stunning. The big glass dome on the top is rather new, from the 1990s, because of course post-World War II the building was in ruins.
Well, let's go for a bit of a walk around so we can take in a lot more of this building and some other great sights in the city, but it is really just such a beautiful building.
If you get up close, you can see the remainders of the bullet holes where they were all pasted over for the restoration.
Now we're at one of the most important memorials anywhere in the world, really, aren't we?
Absolutely. So the official title for this is the Memorial to the Murdered Jews of Europe. It is Germany's federal memorial to what happened under the Nazi regime for the Jewish people. It took more than 20 years of planning. It opened in 2005. It was designed by a New York Jewish architect by the name of Peter Eisenman, very famous architect. He said he based it on the Jewish cemetery in Prague. One thing about the design is that the alleyways through these 2,711 grey concrete blocks are deliberately wide enough for an individual or a wheelchair, but they're not wide enough for two people to walk shoulder to shoulder. It's supposed to be an experience that's somewhat solitary, somewhat reflective. So rather than us go through and me natter at you the whole way, I'd recommend that you have a little walk by yourself, take it in, go into the centre where they're really towering above you, where you really get the full effect of the memorial, and then you get to make your own interpretation. You get to make up your own mind about what you think about it.
Well, here we are at one of the most iconic sites anywhere in Europe.
Absolutely, the Berlin Wall, one of the last remaining pieces.
How many pieces are there left in the city?
There are three major pieces, like of this similar length to this one. In fact, is indeed much longer. In some ways, my personal opinion, this is one of the most authentic. I mean, you can see it's full of holes from where people took sledgehammers to it. It hasn't been removed and replaced. It hasn't been prettied up and painted over. This is exactly what you would have seen if you'd come in the wake of the fall of the Berlin Wall.
Gives you a sense of how dark those times in the city must have been to have this thing just going around a part of the city.
Absolutely, 156 kilometres long. And it sounds like a cliche to say that it separated friends and family overnight, but it really did. If you lived 2 blocks in that direction and someone else lived in 2 blocks in the other direction, you won't see them for 28 years.
Well, thank you so much for showing us a little bit of a highlights of Berlin. It's a very quick tour, obviously, but you do half-day tours and everything, don't you?
Anything from a half day to a full week. Whatever you need, we can provide it.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much for showing us around Berlin, and it's been a great experience to hear you talk about all that history on this little walk around.
If there's one thing Berlin has, it's history in spades. We've touched the tip of the iceberg today, but there's always more to see and do in Berlin.
Well, it sounds like we better come back and see some more again soon. So, but again, thank you so much.
My
and
pleasure.
It's been absolutely wonderful to have you show us around, and we'll see you soon.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care.
Well, welcome to ITB here in Berlin. It's the world's largest travel show, and every year it attracts around 200,000 people that come and see the 10,000 exhibitors. Come with me as we go on a bit of a tour and take you behind the scenes in this incredible show. We're catching up with the head of marketing and distribution for Accor in Asia Pacific, Graham Wilson. And Graham, you've been at this event now for must be 15 plus years, and why do you come every year?
Well, it's certainly the largest travel fair in the world, but with the European market being so important to us, we have to be at this event. It's a no-brainer for us.
The reason it's so great is because you capture so many travelers and you're able to create a pavilion that pretty much represents the entirety of the USA.
I have to say that the response from the marketplace on a global basis has been phenomenal, and the field of light has been outstanding.
Well, that's it from us at ITB, and I hope you enjoyed a little sample of the world's largest travel show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. On the next episode of Wayfarer, Welcome to Singapore's Changi Airport. For 130 years, Raffles has been an icon here in Singapore. And right now we're in one of the most luxurious resorts on the island of Sentosa. Well, the Mercure Singapore Bugis is one of the most stylish hotels in the city, and it's only opened a few months ago. Right now, we're in Singapore, and this is Wayfarer.